The guys from Kiesel Guitars contacted me a while ago and asked me if I'm interested in putting my own bass together on their website configurator thing, and then they would build me the bass and send it to me, and I could review it here on my channel. And I thought it's kind of an odd question, because who wouldn't want to do that? So here it is. Let's get started. Hi, this is Gregor from BassTheWorld.com, and this is the Kiesel Guitars VM59K bass. Sorry, I have to start this review with a short rant, because I know so many musicians that treat their instruments like their kids, and they really have a very personal connection to the instrument. So how can you call it VM59K? This is so technical. This is not a bullet or a screw. This is an instrument. Are all the good names really taken already? I don't know. However, the V in the VM probably stands for Vanquish, which is the series, which refers to the body shape. I guess M stands for multiscale, and yeah, let's hear this bass and let's talk about it. Before we dive into the specifications of this bass, let's address the elephant in the room, and I'm not talking about this one, because you're being replaced anyway with this amazing Joe Dart bobblehead. Much better. Of course, I'm talking about the frets, this weird bendy, futuristic, whatever frets. This system is called multiscale, or also fan frets. This concept looks, of course, a little bit special, but I think the outcome, the technical idea behind is actually brilliant, and I'm very happy that in the recent years, just like Kiesel, a lot of companies jumped on the wagon and start to build these fan fret basses, because yeah, they look cool, and I think these instruments actually sound better. And why that is, what is the physical idea behind it, is actually very easily explained. If you ever had the chance to play, for example, a short scale bass, you might have noticed that they sound quite different, especially when you're playing on the G string up the neck, because they deliver still a huge amount of bass frequencies that we bass players are not really used to from a regular 34-inch scale necks. And on the other hand, if you go down to the E string and play these basses, they don't have quite the definition. They sound often a little bit muddy and vintagey, which is nice for some things. But yeah, when you're coming from a regular 34-inch scale neck, you will definitely miss the definition that you're used to. When we go to the other extreme and put away the short scale bass and take a bass with a super long scale, it means something like a 35-inch scale or 36-inch scale, which is very rare, but 35 is kind of common, especially for 5- and 6-string basses. You will notice that they have an amazing definition on the B and the E string, and you can clearly hear a great note separation between every single tone that you're playing here, which is cool. But if you go up to the G string, they often sound really cold and dead and harsh, and you really have to find the right strings that this bass just doesn't sound like a mess up there. And this is a very easy concept, and if you look at the multiscale basses or fan fret basses like this one, this is basically just the best of both worlds. It's just the idea of giving each individual string a different scale, so it just can vibrate and work in the way it's supposed to be. And this is really cool. So you have a normal, cool sounding G string, you have the great definition on the lower strings, and plus, if you come with a bass like this on the stage, everybody will think you're an absolute pro, because this must be absolute hard to play, and you must be a bass god of some sort. In a perfect world, I think every stringed instrument would come with this fan fret system, because it's just definitely better than the standard system that we know from any standard Fender or whatever bass. But of course, we as a human race, we are terrible, so we just don't deserve it. I think it's that easy. But just let me add one more thing to this topic. When you compare different instruments with these fan frets, you might notice that they can be very, very different, and because the angles will be very different. Some companies choose very extreme angles, so the G string is like a 30-inch and the B string 37, and then you have these super weird looking instruments. What Kiesel is doing here is, I think, very convenient and very easy to learn and to play, because the G string is just a regular 34-inch scale, just as you know it, and the B string is a 36, which is just perfect for definition and everything you want. And because the difference is only 2 inches, well, it's still a little bit, but it's not like as much as some other companies do it. It's very easy to reach every point on the fingerboard, and also to play chords up here and stuff like this. If you have one of those basses with these extreme scale differences, it's almost impossible to play chords up here if you want to do that. And the learning curve, or the time that you need to learn to play this, is actually super short. I would say it's just taking your bass, putting it in the bass stand, grabbing this and putting it on your lap. This is all the time you need to get used to it. As soon as you start playing, you will recognize it looks different, but it feels exactly the same. I can play this bass without looking, and yeah, that's all I need to know. It's super easy, don't be afraid. So let's have a look at the specifications, and lucky me, this time all I have to do is to print out my order and read it for you part for part. And all the things that I'm mentioning now is things that I specifically chose in the website configurator on the Kiesel Guitars website, which you can do, of course, by your own. And it's a lot of fun, because they have a lot of options, and sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming with all the things that you can choose from, but I think this one turned out really well, and I guess you can do the same. The basic price for this bass, for the 5-string with the fan fret design, is $1,469, which is amazing, I would say, for an American-made custom bass. Really cool. So let's start from here. First thing is the maple neck alder body combination, which is the standard. The alder body you can't see, of course, and the maple neck is bolt on with the Vanquish model, with this particular one. Then we have a clear high gloss finish in white, which doesn't cause any upcharge, which is really cool, because I think this looks amazing. This is exactly what I was having in mind when I did this. Then we have a 5-piece maple neck with 2 purple heart stripes, which causes $180 of upcharge. This is a little bit of fancy stuff that you don't really have to do if you order one of those basses, but what I had in mind when I designed this bass is to go for a bass that is good for metal stuff, for harder music, which also is always good if you have a harder sound. And Purple Heart is not only a beautiful but also a super hardwood, which makes this bass very stable, and yeah, it gives it a little bit more definition and a little bit more trebly and a little bit of faster attack. This is what I was going for. Same with the Ebony Fingerboard, which is the next thing. Yeah, we have the tung oil finish on the back of the neck, which I really like. So there's no high gloss finish or any gloss finish on it, so it feels like natural wood, which is really nice. We have the Icon style bass headstock. Nothing important. Yeah, Ebony Fingerboard, which is just an upcharge of $40. Some other companies, you can add a zero to that if you want to add a Ebony Fingerboard, which is really cool. And we have, the matched headstock is also $40, which is also super affordable. Basically every other company that I know where you can configure the instruments, upcharges like a high gloss matched headstock is way more expensive. So cool for Kiesel. They are really very affordable with these kind of things. Then I have these dot inlays without any upcharge. We have white pearl inlay material. Okay, this goes together. We have medium jumbo frets in my case. We have a 14-inch radius on the fingerboard. We have black pickups. And what's cool about these pickups is that they are curved in the same angle as the fingerboard. Also basically also in 14 inches, looks a little bit more curved, but it doesn't matter. So, which is great because the distance between the string and the pull pieces in the pickup is always the same, which also adds up to make this bass a very balanced sounding. Basically what the multi-scale also already supports is also supported additionally by the pickups, which is really cool. Then we have black hardware, which is upcharge of $30 for some reason. I'm using Dunlop super bright strings, which I love on this bass. These are the nickels if I replace them for the next time. I'm using steel, the Marcus Miller ones. Some of my favorite strings for these kind of basses. They will definitely find a place here. We have a black logo. We have a D-tuner from Hipshot, which is a little bit ridiculous on a 5-string bass, I know, but it's just for fun. Especially when Lars is here and we're recording metal things, like a drop A is sometimes a lot of fun, and well, I didn't have to pay the space, so I don't really care. Then we have Ebony rear electronic cavity cover. Causes also $35 of upcharge, which is this year, looks very cool. And we have the Ebony truss-rod cover, also $35 both not really important, but it's just, yeah, if you can do it, just do it because it will look cool. And this bass also comes with a case, which also causes an upcharge of $60. This is everything that's on the list here. Of course, this bass has some more specifications that are not listed here for some reason. We have this Kiesel preamp. The configuration is, first of all, we have this active passive switch in the volume knob, we have the balance, and then we have a 3-band EQ with the mids. And what you heard in the very first sound sample in this video here was René using this wah-wah effect. The mid-range here has a very cool wah-wah-like range that you can make this happen. I think it sounds amazing. And as you can see here, it's an 18-volt electronic, so it needs 2 9-volt batteries. Also the bridge allows you to put the strings through the body. So if you want to have even more sustain, as we are doing it right now, you can do that. If you don't want to do this, you have the single rider bridges here. You can also just install the strings from the top. Yeah, that's it. That's the bass, and I have to say I'm very happy with it, how it turned out. I think they made a great job putting it all together. It's completely flawless when it comes to the construction of the instrument. There's no little dents or little spots where it looks like some trainee made the bass. So this is absolutely well made, like a master's piece. The edge of the fingerboard feels amazing, and yeah, this is a super high professional bass for relatively affordable money. So in total this one costs like $1,900, something like this, but as I said before, you can save like 500 of these dollars of the total money if you just want to go with the straight standard bass, which will still exactly look like this one if you want to go for this kind of look. And this is really cool, and yeah, I think Kiesel, great job with this one, and I don't really have to say much about it. They did a great job. We will use this a little bit more here for future videos for all kind of metal demonstrations when we need great definition B-string stuff. And yeah, we already had and we have a lot more fun with this bass here. In total, I would say I would give this bass like out of 10 Joe Dart bobbleheads maybe like 8.5. I think you can agree. And yeah, that's it for today. If you have any questions regarding this bass or anything else, just feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I will gladly get back to you. And otherwise, there is another bass that they built for us that I will show you in a couple of weeks, I guess. Yeah, that's it for today. See you next time, and have a wonderful day and week, month, year, life, afterlife. Bye bye.